What's going on, guys? Hope you all had a fantastic weekend and are having a phenomenal Monday. So yes, I know it's Monday. I did not get my whiffs of the week or my weekly rotation out on Sunday. And the only reason for that is it was NFL opening weekend, and I am a huge NFL nut. I love NFL football. So I spent the entire day watching football. So here we are. We are here to do my weekly rotation. It was an interesting week. I was house sitting and dog sitting for 8 days, so I didn't have my collection with me. So this week was full of travel atomizers and cheapies. So stick around and join me as we go over week number 6 of the whiffs of the week. Cue that intro. What's going on, my beautiful fragrance family, and welcome back to My2Scents. My name is Brian, and this is the show all about boosting your confidence through the art of fragrance and becoming a lasting scent memory. I know, I did not get my whiffs of the week out yesterday. My deepest apologies, but I am a huge NFL fan. But we're not here to talk about football, but curious with all my subscribers, do you enjoy watching football? Let me know what your team is down below. But yeah, it was an interesting week of fragrances. It was kind of boring for me, to be honest. When I don't have my collection around me, I just kind of feel out of sorts, out of whack. So I did take some fragrances with me. I did get some content out, but it was not as easy as I thought it would be. But luckily, I did take with me my Decant X travel box. Yeah, I mean, this is freaking awesome, guys. Not only is Decant X a great way to test drive your fragrances, it's also a great way now to travel with your fragrances. This thing came in handy. And you, my fragrance family, can go over to Decant X and use my 17% off discount codes right here. 2Scents17. Go check it out. I get no money from it. I don't get any kickbacks. It's just there for me to say thank you and to help you along your fragrance journey. If you're thinking about traveling, you got to go out of town for work, or heck, you might have to go dog sit an hour away from your house, go check it out and use my code 2Scents17. Also, if you like fragrance related content, then you are in the right spot. Do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Throw me up as many of these as possible, because it helps my algorithm, helps the growth of this stinking beautiful fragrance family. And don't forget, leave me some comments down below. With that all out of the way, it's time to get into playoffs. Playoffs? Who's talking about playoffs? We're just trying to win a freaking game here. In today's whiffs of the week, one day I wanted to try something from my Decant X travel box, and I went with Bond Number 9 Scent of Peace. Now, I've heard a lot of people compare this to Aventus. I can get that a little bit right in the opening, but this really is, what I get out of it is like some nice juicy pineapple. I get a little bit of like a green apple going on in the mix there, but it's really that juicy pineapple. I get a little bit of orange, and I think that's coming from some bergamot. And when it starts drying down, I get a little bit like of a pininess, a little bit like maybe some juniper berry, and then it gets kind of green, and then it just dries out nice and woody with like cedar and vetiver. It's a really good fragrance. I don't think that it's gonna be a full bottle for me. I'm not a huge fan of Bond Number 9, and that's just my opinion, guys. If you love Bond Number 9, rock the crap out of it, because they do make really good fragrances. If I find this for a good price at discounters, I'd probably pick it up. I think it's a good fragrance. I got a good 7 hours, maybe 8 hours out of it on Monday. Most of the Bond Number 9s that I've owned, I've either sold off or given them away. Like, I used to have Shea Bond, and as we know, it smells a lot like Green Irish Tweed. To me, it was a little sharp, it was cloying, gave me a headache, so I sold it to a buddy of mine. He still rocks it and smells great on it. Kingdom Fragrances right now is doing a heck of a deal on Shea Bond, so if you are interested in it and you like Green Irish Tweed, or if you don't want to spend the Creed prices on it, definitely check out Shea Bond. And then when I got home that evening, I just went with the same fragrance. I mean, I really enjoyed wearing it. Another reason it won't be a full bottle, I have a lot of fragrances that do the exact same thing that this does. It's just kind of redundant in my collection. So, but Scent of Peace, yeah, it's a good fragrance. If you can find it discounted, yeah, definitely check it out. So all day of that day, I went with Bond Number 9 Scent of Peace. All right, now we're on to Tuesday. Tuesday, again, I went with another travel atomizer from Decant X. And I went with Xerjoff, More Than Words. Oh man, this is definitely going to be a full bottle for me. I'm trying to collect the entire Join the Club line, and this one is fantastic. It really is. It's nice and fruity right up top. Really nice juicy fruits. Not like bubblegummy juicy fruit, like juicy fruits. But it's got some really nice depth to those fruits. And there's this really nice sweet elemi resin flowing through this. So it's got some nice balsams and resins. And then you get some animalic undertones to it. So it's got like that oudiness to it. Oh, it's so good. But this fragrance actually reminded me of another fragrance throughout the day. And it's MFK's Oud Silk Mood. Not Oud Satin Mood, Oud Silk Mood. I didn't have Oud Silk Mood to compare it with, but throughout the day I just kept smelling more than words. I was like, man, this kind of reminds me of Oud Silk Mood. And I could be wrong, and that could just be my skin, but now that I'm back home, I'm definitely going to do a little comparison. Regardless, this is a long-lasting fragrance. It's stinking good, and it's definitely going to become a full bottle. When I got home that evening, I showered, I had to scrub off that more than words, and I did my episode of 5 designer fragrances I look forward to rocking this fall. I'll leave a card right here so you can go check it out. After doing that episode, I couldn't help but put on Dolce & Gabbana The One Eau de Parfum. Now, the Eau de Parfum I got sometime last year. I've had the Eau de Toilette for God knows how long. I'm on my 3rd bottle. I finally decided to get the Eau de Parfum, and I'm really glad I did. I'm really looking forward to rocking it this fall. This is a stunner. It really is. It's sweet, it's spicy, the tobacco is so well done. I mean, it's the Eau de Toilette, but rounder and smoother, and it's like all the edges are just smoothed out. It's like a complete circle. Instead of looking like an amoeba, it's a completely round circle, more like a cell. This is phenomenal. If you've been hiding under a rock and have not tried Dolce & Gabbana The One Eau de Parfum, do yourself a favor. On my skin, I get pretty good longevity out of this. I actually smelt this on me the next morning. Now, it was very faint, but it was still there. I think this is a beautiful fragrance. The Eau de Parfum is phenomenal. The Eau de Toilette, phenomenal. I like most of the flankers in the One line. Yeah, that evening, I rocked The One. So now we're on to Wednesday, and Wednesday was going to be a scorcher here. It did not feel like it was turning into fall at all. I went with another one from Decants, and I went with Rasasi, Hawas, Pour Homme. Alright, gonna be honest, this is totally gonna be a full bottle for me. It's stinking good. And it makes me realize maybe I should get Invictus again. Maybe I should get my nose on it. That and Invictus Aqua. I used to wear them. I used to love them. And then that sweetness just took control. It was too bubblegummy, and I don't know. I just didn't love them as much as I used to. But this right here, I freaking love. And it is a long-lasting fragrance. It really is. It made it through my entire shift, 8 hours. Though it has that bubblegummy sweetness, maybe I'm just getting used to it, it's toned down. It's got some nice spiciness to it, just a little bit, not too much. It's got a little bit of greenery going on, and then it dries down nice and woody. I freaking love this fragrance. And for the price that you can find it at, it's totally worth it. And I can't believe I have not picked up a bottle yet. So this is definitely on my Whiffs list, and yeah, it's going to be a full bottle. And I loved it so much that when I got home, I went back with Rasasi, Hawas, Pour Homme. It's that good. It really is. Though it's got that bubblegummy sweetness, I don't think it's overpowering. I think they did a really good job with it. So yeah. So that's what I rocked all stinking day. So Thursday, I went with a cheapie, and it was one of my most recent cheapie pickups. I got this the Friday before, the day that I did the live stream, Fragrance Family Q&A, and I went with Calvin Klein Eternity Flame. This is the only Calvin Klein fragrance I own. And I'll be honest with you, it's not my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of Calvin Klein fragrances anymore. I used to rock the crap out of CK1, CKB, CK Into You, Eternity, Euphoria. I had CK1 Summer, I had CK1 Shock, but man, I either went through them when I was younger or I just got rid of them, gifted them away. I didn't even sell them. They just aren't really my jam. This one, and I have seen some reviews on this, and it gets some pretty high reviews. Let me know in the comments what you think of Eternity Flame. But for me, yeah, it starts out with this kind of like dirty pineapple. And it's quite synthetic. And it's kind of like a pineapple that's rolled around in cinnamon and nutmeg and clove and all these different spices. And it's not bad. It's not bad right up top. But man, once it starts drying down, I get like this really rubbery feel to it. It smells like kind of like just spicy rubber. I know that there's leather in this, I believe, and I just don't think the leather's done very well. Now, this isn't a bad fragrance. I'm not saying that. It's just to my nose and on my skin, it didn't really work very well. Now, longevity, I got about 7 hours out of it, which is actually pretty good for a Calvin Klein Eternity fragrance. It kind of reminds me of like Hairspray, like right up top. So I don't know. It's okay. It's all right, but I got it for $14.99 for a 50 ml. I give it some more wear during this fall. Just see. My opinion can definitely change. I'm not dogging it. I'm just that my first wearing wasn't too happy with it, but it's what it is. It happens. That evening when I got home, I went rack store shopping before I decided to do my rack store haul. episode. I'll leave a card right here for you so you can check that out. I was running out of fragrances to wear, so it's like, you know what? There's a rack store 2 miles from here. I Googled it. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And I picked one of the fragrances out of that episode. And I picked Black is Black Pour Homme. Hate these bottles, but this was $10. And I'm gonna be completely transparent, completely open and honest with you. I like this fragrance. And in fact, I'm gonna go back and pick up a couple more bottles because I'm gonna leave this in my desk in my office. It is not highly natural smelling whatsoever. It's quite synthetic, but you get some citrus up top, like lemon and bergamot, maybe a little bit of grapefruit. And then you get this kind of like rosiness. And it's not the best smelling rose, but it's not the worst smelling rose either. It's not fruity or jammy or sweet. It is more just like aromatic. And then vanilla and musk and a little bit of woodiness in the base. But for $10, this is a great dumb reach. It really is. It only lasts about 3-4 hours, but you leave it in your desk at work. You're about to go out to happy hour or hang out with your buds. This is just something you can spray on. Nobody's gonna think that you smell bad whatsoever because it does, it smells good. After you get past the initial blast, it actually turns out to be a pretty good fragrance. It's just fresh, citrusy, and clean smelling. I mean, it's good. I'm not saying it's great, it's just good. It's not bad for $10. I've definitely bought fragrances for $10 and been like, there is not a chance in hell I am putting that on my skin. So yeah, that's what I rock. Friday, I went with another cheapie. I had also picked this up when I picked up Eternity Flame. And I went with Perry Ellis. Perry Ellis. This fragrance came out in 2018. And I bought this back in 2018. I had a roommate at the time. And my bottle went missing. And I'm pretty sure that my roommate jacked my bottle. But from what I remembered, I actually enjoyed it. Because I wore it a couple times and then my bottle just went missing. He moved out like shortly after. So pretty sure he jacked my bottle. But this is a really nice, just fresh, citrusy, slightly spicy and woody fragrance that has some really nice greenness to it as well. It's got a little bit of aquatic feel to it, but it's mostly around that citrus, spices, some greenness, and woods. It's actually quite unique smelling, and I got this for $14.99 for 100 ml. Yeah, it's really not bad. And in fact, I think I looked it up on Fragrantica and it's got a pretty good score. And I would rate this a pretty good score. It doesn't smell overly synthetic. It doesn't smell like super like highly natural, but for the price you can get this at, if you're looking for something that's just a dumb reach, fresh, citrusy, a little green, a little spicy, and nice and woody, Perry Ellis is a great avenue. I actually got decent longevity out of it, about 4 or 5 hours, not bad. And this is what I wore the entire day. When I got home from work, I got out of the shower, and this is a great after the shower scent. Not to mention, it's a great office fragrance, casual fragrance. I wouldn't say this is great for like going out on dates. This is not something I would wear on a date, but it's inoffensive. It smells really good, and it actually smells quite unique. It doesn't really smell like anything else that I have in my collection. If anything, it kind of smells like a mixture of things, but that's unique, right? All day, I rocked Perry Ellis. Perry Ellis. So on Saturday, I was packing up, getting ready to go, and I totally forgot that I had brought my little baggie of decants that Kevin over at Scentual Obsessions sent me for me to check out. He sent me some fragrances, and I was like, oh, crap, I totally forgot about these. So that day I sprayed on King of Kings. And I'm pretty sure you can guess what this is a inspired dupe clone of, because we all know what the king of fragrance is. Hot Chavat. Just kidding. Well, in my fragrance kingdom, it's Hot Chavat. But yeah, so I'm not going to sit here and explain and put this up against its predecessor. But I'll tell you this, King of Kings is going to become a full bottle for me. I thoroughly enjoyed wearing this. Again, I wore it all day. The pineapple in this is awesome. It is juicy, it's opulent, it's succulent. It's really nicely done. And then I get a little bit of like an apple accord in there, but I also get some other citruses, like a lemon and maybe a little bit of bergamot, which is giving it just like a little bit of like an orangey facet to it. And then as it starts drying down, you start getting some nice aromatics and you get that really nice black currant. When the full dry down, it becomes nice and woody, and the oak moss definitely shines, and it's got that slightly smoky birch in it. This is a phenomenal fragrance. It lasted me a good 8-9 hours. And then when I got home, I did my episode, and after I did my episode, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spray King of Kings back on. And I've put a decent little dent in it so far. This will definitely be a full bottle for me. I actually like this better than its predecessor. And don't hate me for saying that. Don't hate me. For those of you who enjoy the original, you know what I'm talking about. Rock it. Love it. It is a fantastic fragrance. I just kind of like this one better, especially for the price. And in my opinion, this is just a fragrance. I'm not putting it up as a clone. So, all day that day, I went with Sensual Obsessions. King of Kings. Now we're on to Sunday. Dun 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 dun. That's right, NFL Sunday. My favorite freaking day of the week, especially when the NFL comes back around. I watched my Bulldogs win on Saturday. Awesome. And then I watched my Washington football team lose. But it is what it is. Ross, if you're watching this, we did share the same fragrance. Sunday, I wore Davidoff Run Wild. When I was on my way to meet Jeremy to watch some football, I listened to Ross's weekly rotation, and he wore this on, I think, Friday night and Saturday night. But I decided to rock this on Sunday, and I didn't even know that he was wearing it that week. Ross, we shared Run Wild. Different days, same fragrance though. Same weekly rotation. So, I'm gonna have to agree with Ross on this one. This is like Invictus, but with a nice spicy heart. Really like the direction this fragrance goes. Have that bubblegummy sweetness up top. It's nice and fresh though, and it's also got some nice citruses. But once it starts drying down, it gets nice and spicy and kind of warming. And I really enjoy that. And then as it fully dries out, I like it even more. It's kind of woody and musky, but you still get those spices. All that just kind of rounds out that sweetness and tones it down. And it's just a really good fragrance. And I get good longevity. Honestly, I got a good 7 hours. 7 hours. The entire day that I was watching football, I could smell this on me. And I was getting good wafts. I actually sprayed a little bit heavier because I wasn't sure. It was my first time wearing it. But yeah, this is a really good fragrance. If you're looking for something in that Invictus vein, that's actually kind of a little bit more mature when it starts drying down, because it's got that really nice sweetness, and then it gets nice and spicy and a little bit warm. This is a fantastic fragrance, especially for the price you can get this at. I think I got this one for like 20 bucks, something, $22 for a 50 ml. That's a stinking good price for a really good fragrance. And I really enjoy the bottle. I think the bottle is done very well. But yeah, and this is what I decided to rock all stinking day. Because when I got home, I didn't have to shower or anything. And I was like, you know, I'm just going to reapply. I'm going to test drive this even more and see if it was maybe just a figment of my imagination. Maybe hearing Ross say that he really enjoyed it, maybe it tricked me. But it didn't. I really enjoy it. Ross, I'm there with you, buddy. Run Wild. It's a good one. So all day, I went with Davidoff. Run Wild. So there it is, week number 6, my whiffs of the week. Did we share any of the same fragrances throughout the week? What were you rocking this week? Did we share any of the same fragrances on the same day? Let me know. Comment down below. So I've got to get off here, guys, because I just got a package in the mail, and yeah, I got to record my first impressions of, that's right, Smolder. All right, so stay tuned for that. I can't wait to get my nose on this bad boy. It'll be coming out tomorrow. So I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your evening. If you enjoyed today's episode, then do me a favor, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And always remember, you are stinking beautiful. Until next time, happy scent trails.